What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kofi Kingston, a.k.a. 1/3 of the New Day. You're not going to say it with me, sir? Yeah, come on, you better participate. Let's try it again. 1/3 of the New Day, and you are watching The Young and the Wrestlers. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome to The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
I'm as big as Rhea Ripley. I'm Jem.
And twice as Australian. I was going with that. You can listen to our Smackdown in review every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, including Spotify, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to facebook.com/group/the Pop Culturist, Discord, Twitter. Our names are below us. Links are all in the bottom down below area. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to patreon.com/thepopculture. Support us at any dollar value. Get yourself a nice little sneaky link where you can watch us record this show live. And if you want to support us in more one-off fashion, head over to popculture.com/shop. We can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. We are also on a Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopculturist, which, you know, I didn't do last week, and I probably won't do this week. I mean, really shit at streaming. Ever since we changed the schedule, I kind of lost the oomph. I don't know what it is. But anyway, how you been, Jem?
Yeah, good, man. Recovered. Obviously, last week we didn't do Raw. Bit of a burnout on both.
Yeah, a bit under the weather, so we kind of pulled that one last minute.
Yeah, but no, other than that, back on the mend, in a good place, doing some good things, having some good times. So yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright. Yeah. I got no major complaints on my end. I'm doing fine. Pushing through. Nice. But what has happened in that week? So obviously, everything's good. Like, anything cool? It's been a couple of days since it's been a week since we did this one.
Oh yeah, well, my housemate's adopted a kitten.
Yeah, because what happened to the other cat?
So he's still here.
Oh, cool.
So we've got two now. Yeah. So we've got the big guy. His name's Jem, and then we got the little kitten. His name is Puck. Super cute. This morning I got up to do things at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and he came up and had a little play for about 15 minutes and then fell asleep in my arms, and I was like, all right, that's it, I'm not doing anything. Nope. And I was there for almost 2 hours with him snuggling up on me, which was a bit cute. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, no,
he the photos you put on social medias reminded me of my old kitten, Rufus. He was awesome, but we had to, because Millie was allergic, and James loved him, but he did not love James, so we had to give him on to another home, which was a real big sad day for me. But maybe one day we'll get a new pet, whether it be cat or dog, one of the two. Speaking of dogs, let's get into SmackDown this week.
Oh yeah.
Let me pull up the notes just quickly because my phone locked in me. This episode of SmackDown took place in Philadelphia, and it opened with a package from last week. So that bullshit we talked about with Baron Corbin talking about Roman Reigns' ball bag for some reason. Yeah. Just more of a highlight of that, and then as well as some footage from the Invasion the previous week. Mm-hmm. So it was all just sort of. I like that. That's the one advantage of what they're doing here is SmackDown. Now, I don't like what was in the footage, but I like that they go, all right, here's your little snippet. There's your intro, and we're in. There's none of this opening onto the ring and then having someone go, hey, look at the screen.
Yeah.
Like this makes it feel like previously on SmackDown, and then you get the little clips. You watch the intro, and then it's in.
Exactly.
I think it's a nice touch.
Yeah. Just the recap, basically saying that the invasion happened because Roman Reigns is failing at his job as a leader of SmackDown, and he has little testicles and is a chihuahua.
Yeah, that's. And I think you can't know that. That's pretty much everything that came out of that.
Yeah, that's basically. So that gives you a little context of what's going on there.
So for the second week in a row, the SmackDown does open with King Corbin. This time he's being carried out on one of those thrones with all the people hiking and going
hot his way into the ring. They kept calling it a sedan. I was like, is it called a sedan? Apparently it's called a sedan.
Is it a technical name, I suppose? I don't know. I thought a sedan was a four-door vehicle. But,
so did I. Well, I mean, there's 4 posts. I guess you could cross them as doors.
No. my sedan's also carried by 6 people, so it makes sense. And he's greeted in the ring by Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Old Rudolph's in the ring, ready to go. Ton of "you suck" chants.
Oh, shit, done. They were not happy. The minute Corbin starts to talk, everybody starts booing. He's like, "You need to respect your king," and they're like, "Ah!" Yeah. I was not about this, not going to lie.
No, not at all.
I was just waiting for him to mention balls again.
Yeah. So
here we go.
We'll quickly skim through it because it's a shitty fucking opener. Talks about the responsibilities of being a leader, and one of them is to tell your loyal subjects the harsh truth. So Corbin has claimed that he has proved that it is no longer Roman Reigns' yard, it is in fact Corbin's kingdom. Which is a cool touch. I did quite like that one. And the king has declared a royal decree that he will now become the team captain of SmackDown heading into Survivor Series this coming Monday for us here in Australia. Mm-hmm. Excited. Yeah. NXT Takeover on Sunday.
I mean, okay, just because you think you have some sort of brains over this. Like, I don't know. It was all a bunch of dumb shit to me. And then it goes on to say, like, I don't like my teammates. I especially don't think that, Mustafa. This is one thing I do want to mention. Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, so he received his first name throughout the week.
Yes.
Across social medias, across the website, and now back on the telly. So congratulations, Mustafa Ali, for being back as Mustafa Ali.
Absolutely stoked. They really took away his identity by taking away his first name. So the fact that they've given him his full title of Mustafa Ali now, huge.
Rad.
Anyway, yeah, so he's basically like, I don't like Mustafa Ali and Shorty G. As we all know, Corbin and Shorty G do have a little bit of history there. He's like, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode are going to face them to try and take those spots at Survivor Series. Sure, okay. Dolph steps in and he goes, Roman Reigns is always that one step behind you, king, your liege, whatever. He's like, he's always undermining you, and that's why we're going to take, Mustafa Ali and Shorty G's places as part of Team SmackDown when we beat them in this match coming up. And then Baron's like, oh, so why don't we just invite Roman Reigns down to the ring? Like, come on, come watch your boys get beat up and this, that, and the other. Basically saying that the only reason Ali and Shorty G have that spot is because they roll with Roman Reigns. And his music starts playing. Then all of a sudden, the decal changes to like a puppy. And there's like...
It's literally a chihuahua.
Barking. Yeah, chihuahua barking. And then some dude in a dog mascot comes out, mocking Roman Reigns, and I was like, oh god, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Oh, I was not.
I was at least hoping that maybe there would be some payoff at the end. There's someone in the suit very similar to Cedric Alexander in the janitor outfit that time.
Yeah,
like, I thought maybe we'd get some payoff.
That.
Spoilers for the rest of the show, and I'm fucking happy. He's just a dude in a suit.
It is just a dude in a suit. Yeah. I was kind of hoping that it would be like Roman Reigns underneath it, but then when he put his leg in the ring, you saw his sort of like suit come up and you could see this pasty white leg. I was like, oh.
Oh, damn.
I was real disappointed.
Some white boy in there.
Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. But that, obviously we went to an ad break and it gives us a little video package. For those who don't know, CM Punk is joining WWE Backstage with Booker T and Renee Young.
Now, we haven't touched upon this because this did happen after SmackDown last week, and obviously we did because without doing the Raw show last week, it kind of got lost in the ether. In between them. Yeah, so essentially Renee Young is standing in the middle of their ring set that they have on backstage. They've got Christian, there's Paige, there is Adam Cole, baby, and she's like, "Hey, you guys want to see something cool?" I think Joe was there too. Smell Joe. Yeah. And she's like, "All right, here's something cool. 3, 2, 1. And I'm like, "Oh, fuck!"
Personality.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me!" And CM Punk's just like, just when they think they know the culture, I come in and change it. And I was like, he's like, "I'll see you here next week." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
and yeah, they do announce that he's coming into backstage as an analyst. Mm-hmm. For those who think CM Punk is a sellout, he is not employed by the WWE. He is employed by Fox.
And on top of that, anyone that does have an issue with this, shut the fuck up.
You've been wanting this forever, and now you're complaining.
All you've ever wanted is give me CM Punk. Bring CM Punk back.
CM Punk
here is
like every week.
Here he is. That's not good enough. Fuck you. It's not good enough. This is the best you're gonna get. He ain't getting in that ring.
Yeah, sell it. He's a sellout. No, he's not a sellout. You're a fucking charge. Shut
Yeah,
up.
Daniel Bryan was right. You
capacity.
fickle piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Stop being so fickle. Appreciate what you're given.
That's right. Just be glad. Just be glad that the deal even happened.
Exactly.
Like if there is that bad blood, like even though yes, he's employed by Fox, they'd be like, well, you know, I have an issue with WWE. I want nothing to do with it. If anything, it shows. Like because you know that AEW approached him. You know they
100%.
did. And they probably would have offered him a fucking ton of money. So it's like, it's fascinating to think that like he's then turned that down. Whether it be because Fox offered him a ton more. Or it's just maybe he plans to stick with WWE. I don't know. Like it's the decision to make that connection to stay with WWE is a bold one. And I like it. I like it a lot, personally.
I'm all about it. It really makes me want to tune into Backstage more now.
I don't know how we're going to get it here in Australia. That's the only concern. It isn't available on any legal means. It's not on Foxtel. It's not on the network. It's not anywhere. So that is a concern. I'm sure that hopefully that's been addressed somewhere in the ether. But obviously we can't confirm. Because if I had, I'd be watching it. But sadly, I'm not.
That's true. And that's where I'm at too.
But yeah. Punk. But in that real speculation though, Jem, do you think we will see Punk? Because Punk isn't here on a weekly basis. He isn't doing this show weekly. He is from time to time, as they said, and an analyst. Do you think in the other time of those times, he's down at the PC?
I think it's a definite possibility because we have, like, I think earlier in the year we did see a little thing of him jump into a little indie ring and have a little bit of a wrestle.
Well, yeah, so he kind of ran in, give a kind of a dodgy GTS to someone and then bailed out again.
Yep, exactly it. So we know that he has been in ring in some capacity. Yeah. So it would not surprise me if he's down at the Performance Center. Now
imagine that. Imagine this shit. Because you know how like, you got a really awesome WrestleMania pop? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Living Colour comes even if Living Colour are there as a band, I think they're all. I don't know if they're dead or not, but
could you imagine like Punk coming out to take on friggin' Bray Wyatt or something? Like that would be amazing.
Oh, that wouldn't happen because one of them would have to lose, and that'd be really tough. But
yeah, exactly it. But still, like, could you imagine if like he came out to like
here it is. Here it is. I want to see this: John Cena, CM Punk, WrestleMania 36.
Oh yeah. That would be cool.
Yep. And it's John Cena's retirement match.
Yeah.
I'm just adding caveats on it for no reason. Like,
why the hell not? Because
imagine
it's
that.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, imagine Punk, retiring John Cena. Think people are okay with that?
Yeah, don't get my hopes up. Thanks. Now I'm like excited for this to happen, and it's not going to happen. And I'm
no
excited
chance.
About that.
Not a chance. It's like in NXT, how I wanted Brock versus Bray versus Adam Cole, baby, and we didn't get it.
Yeah, no.
It's a bummer. Oh yeah, we should probably do the rest of the show, eh?
Yeah, there's more to the show there.
All right, you jump in there.
So we get back in the ring with Mustafa Ali and Shorty G do come out to face Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler with King Corbin and his little lapdog with him, that guy in the dog suit. So yeah, pretty good match. Like it started kind of slow, I'll be honest. Like it did start pretty slow. With Ziggler and Roode doing their, bad guy stuff like cheap shots and things like that. Mm-hmm. And then at one point King Corbin gets involved and he goes to hand Robert Roode his scepter. Robert Roode goes to grab it, and as that happens, like Roman's Reign music hit. Yes. And Roman comes storming down. And, Corbin, like, absolutely shits himself. He rips off all his garb and stuff like that. He gets ready for a fight. They cut to an ad break, they come back, and suddenly the match is just on a next level. Like, after that little bit, like, the match just sped up a shit ton. It was a lot faster, a lot harder, a lot more engaging. It started really slow, so I was a bit like, oh, here we go. Mm-hmm. But obviously with all those fast-paced superstars in there, like, it picked up real quickly. Like, Dolph's like a veteran. So is Robert Roode. Like, even though they're like more hard hitters, they're still super fast. So
Well, there was
a
an
really
incredible
good match.
roll up from Chad Gable.
Yeah.
To a little roll up to an ankle lock was awesome.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, that thing. That was like, it was like a kick in the face into a roll up into, I don't know what that was, but that was amazing. And he also did this really cool, like, roll up into like a back suplex so that Ali could do the 450 splash.
Yep.
Which did obviously get them the win, which was awesome. But yeah, it was really freaking cool. There was like, what happened was as, Roman, when he came out, as Corbin was trying to give Roode the scepter, Roman hit Corbin with a drive-by. And then Robert Roode got out and smashed Roman's head on the desk. And then Ali did a suicide dive into Roode and then got him back into the ring. And
for someone that's broken his face on a good hunk of announce tables, Ali should really stop jumping in that direction.
He should really stop, yeah. Yeah, he smashed his ribs really hard. But yeah, it did end up, with that 450 splash. And Ali and Shorty G stay on Team SmackDown.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was all right. It wasn't horrible, as I said. Well, it did pick up in the second half, which made it sort of manageable and okay.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But then obviously, like, as like Corbin and that are all like hanging around the announce table, being pissed off and stuff like that, the sort of camera zooms onto the announcers and they start talking about the matches for like coming up for the night. Obviously, like King Corbin's pissed off. Corey Graves addresses it. Michael Cole says something, and like Baron Corbin just throws his paper everywhere, which is a bit funny. But yeah, they go on to announce that tonight will be a rematch for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team titles between the New Day and the Revival. What the fuck happened to no automatic rematches?
Yeah, I remember literally this time last year, if not maybe in December of last year, and they're like, "You are the authority. No more automatic rematches. Blah blah blah." Here
we are.
What the hell?
When it comes to the match, I understand it, but right now I'm pissed about it. Real pissed about it. Just why? And then after this, it is announced that Nikki Cross will be facing Bayley one-on-one again, because Nikki Cross had expressed that she wants to be part of Team SmackDown for Survivor Series, and Sasha Banks, being team leader, was like, well, you're going to have to fight for it. You want that spot, you have to beat Bayley. So that's pretty cool. I'm keen for that. And then it's also announced that Daniel Bryan's going to be on Miz TV. And then it brings back to Corey Graves and Michael Cole, and they talk about Sami Zayn with Daniel Bryan last week and the proposition he made, and then the attack from the Fiend and stuff like that. And like, obviously there's a lot of answers. Hopefully we're going to get some tonight. Which brings us into the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, so we see Bray Wyatt standing there, and he's got the Universal Championship there, ready to go, there in its red glory, and he says something's not right here. So he then does the cool little genie spin thing, becomes a magician, taps it with a wand. That bad boy is now a deep blue.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I was so excited. I was saying to you earlier in the week, I wouldn't be surprised if they have one of each belt in every freaking color. And that is awesome to me. I love that because he's brought the Universal Championship to SmackDown. It is now SmackDown colored, which means it is now a blue title. That is awesome.
Yeah, look, I'm okay with it. It looks good. It looks fine. It's one of those things the belts kind of are the same, like that and the heavyweight championship are literally the same, just one's black, one's blue. So it's kind of because of the bland design that they are using and that symmetrical design across the two brands, it does make me just go, okay. I had it adjusted to the red, because everyone apparently hates the red, and I'm like, it's fine, I've adapted. But I guess on SmackDown it makes sense to have it blue. I got no issue with that. I would have liked a more unique Fiend looking one. However,
I mean, it does have his face on the side plate.
Yeah, everyone has their side. Everyone has unique side plates.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, look, that's a nice touch, but I thought because I don't see him losing it anytime soon. So it's a situation of he's having it for a while. Why not make it custom? Why not have it fit?
Turn it into a Cena spinner belt.
Hopefully not, but aesthetically with the lantern or something, have it sort of fit this collective theme that is the Fiend.
Yeah. Have it look like an actual belt that holds his pants up and say,
it's an actual, it's like a rope.
Stripes or
it's
something.
A rope with a tag on it that says Universal Champion.
Something. Yeah, it would have been cool. But no, I thought that was super cool. But yeah, he does go on to mention that, Miz TV's coming up soon, and I love Miz TV, and it's got the extra special guest, the super duper Daniel Bryan, and he goes on to say that I'll be watching very closely, and he will be watching very closely. Yeah, interesting to see that the Fiend is targeting Daniel Bryan.
And
I'm all about it.
I'm all about it because, in terms of reasons, this has totally valid reason. As in, Daniel Bryan was a member of the Wyatt family. He turned his back on Bray. I think there was an exact. I remember seeing the exact scene. I think it was in a cage match, and it was Bray was trying to get him to take a knee, and he just refused. If I remember right.
Yeah.
I've seen the clip. I think Josh made me watch it. He's like, "You gotta watch this clip." Like, all right.
Yeah, I love it.
But there's some good storytelling in here. But we'll get more to that in a minute.
A bit later. Yep,
we get back from the ad break and we get a recap of the match we just saw. Corbin, Ziggler, and Roode and the mascot are hanging out backstage, while Rudolph are complaining about their spots.
Should have been us.
I did enjoy that, actually. It made me go.
Yeah.
You remembered that, but you remember
yeah.
You didn't remember automatic rematches, but you remembered that.
Yeah.
Because it's good shit.
Yeah, exactly it.
And Corbin needs to do something about it. As their king, he will fix
they're like,
it.
"You're the king. You need to do something about this." And he's like, I'll fix it. And him and his little lapdog go walking off. Ugh, ridiculous. That does obviously bring us into another one of those progressive match flows, which is obviously the sponsor of the show. And it shows the whole Tyson Fury, Braun Strowman thing from last week, when Fury's like, if they ever see us in a ring together, it should be as a tag team. And then the B team coming, they're like, no one's stupid enough to face us. And the B team are like, we're stupid enough to face you. That's still the best thing ever. But yeah, this time it does come to the ring. Drew Gulak is in the ring with the B team, looking a lot less hairy. I did notice Gulak's had a bit of a trim and stuff. Braun Strowman comes storming out, and Drew Gulak's like, hey, I've got the B team with me tonight because unlike you, these guys want to learn a thing or two, and they're going to learn what's going to happen if I take your spot on Team SmackDown at Survivor Series. And he has his little slide pop up, and then, he's Drew Gulak gets his finger all in Braun Strowman's face, and Braun just grabs it and sort of bends it backwards, and he's like, and the B team attack, and then Braun just decimates all three of them. It was a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I get that I get that it's trying to Braun looks like strong coming into Survivor Series.
Yeah, but it's just Braun Strowman fighting two randos again. That's.
Yeah. We've seen Braun do this a million times. We don't need to see Braun and Drew Gulak again. We don't need to see Drew Gulak again.
Well, we do. Gulak's alright, but not in this circumstance, I don't think.
I don't like this Drew Gulak. Give me back the old Drew Gulak.
Alright, I once again have to blow my nose because I'm a moron, and I'm guaranteed I've got a fucking cold. I'm pretty sure I have a cold, and then the nice weather today made pollen just explode everywhere, and I don't know. So I'll let you kick off the description of the next one while I blow my schnoz.
No sweat. Well, yeah. So this brings us backstage to the New Day. Kofi with a plate of pancakes. They get approached by Kayla, and she's like, this week you're facing the Revival for the titles. Xavier Woods isn't here. Will you be as successful as you were last week? And Big E's like, is a pig's tiddly-bit pork? Is Megan the Stallion a gift from Earth that we should cherish forever? And did Philadelphia Eagles beat your, and points at Kofi Kingston, Patriots in the 2018 to become the Super Bowl champions? And Kofi gets this real offended.
I'm back.
He's like, Kofi's all offended. And Kofi's like, I can't believe they went there, Big E. Talking about the Patriots and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, we don't have to do any of that, Caleb. Xavier's, just because he's not here physically, he's here in our hearts. He's here on our arms. We won the titles in honor of him, and we are going to keep the titles in honor of him. And then Big E grabs a microphone. He's like, if you don't mind, Kayla. And then, oh, Philly! And for the first time, don't you dare be sour. Clap for your 7-time tag team champ.
I'm still bummed we didn't get that at the Melbourne show.
I know. And feel the power. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yes,
yeah, I'm bummed we didn't get the New Day intro, but, you know, it was still cool. But yeah, this then leads into backstage. There's footage of backstage. Daniel Bryan is walking around, and he does get stopped by Sammy, who's there with Shinsuke, and is like, look, we need to talk, especially after that attack from the Fiend last week. Like, we need an answer, and we need it tonight, because it's obvious that you need us. And Bryan's like, you know, okay, but, you know, where the hell were you last week when I was dropped to the floor with a hand down my throat? Like, where did you run to? And
sorry. Flashback to last week. You know, those that may have forgotten, there was a confrontation between Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn when the lights flickered and the Fiend just mad clawed Bryan.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure before this there was like a little video package.
I think there was too,
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, when we were talking about Miz TV and stuff like that. Because they showed a little bit of a video package. But yeah, so yeah, he's like, you know, Daniel Bryan's like, I've been thinking about it. If you're a man of your word, if you were here to help, if you've got my back, then why the hell did you run? And he's like, oh, I thought you were right behind me, and I was running to get Cesaro and Shinsuke, like, to help, and this, that, and the other. And Daniel Bryan's like, look, I don't need your help. I don't want your help. You don't need me, but you do need somebody. I agree with that. You know who you need? And he looks past Sammy's shoulder and goes, you need Braun Strowman. And Sammy's like, Braun Strowman? Like, we need an intellectual. We're poets. We're intellectuals.
We're artists.
He's just a big dude that's strong. We don't. And Braun Strowman towers over and is like, hi. we, you know what? He's right. We do need a guy like you. Look, we're going to think it over. We'll come to you. Don't find us. We'll find you. And Shinsuke's like staring Braun down like he's going to eat him or something. I don't know. It looked real weird.
Yeah, Shinsuke looked gnarly. He had anger face on. It was cool.
Yeah, he had a real stink face on. It was good though the entire time too. Like Sammy's like, come on Shinsuke, come on. And Sammy's just like, and Shinsuke's just staring down Braun Strowman the entire time. Yeah, that was cool. That was a bit funny. The end of it was good. Like, that's when I love Braun Strowman, when he's just standing there and just intimidating people. That's when he's at his peak.
Yeah, like that's a before we get into the next thing, that's a lot of not wrestling in a row.
Yeah, so far.
Just saying.
One match.
Yeah, I mean, like, as in the
SmackDown.
fun house, backstage, progressive section, Gulak in the ring, New Day backstage, Daniel Bryan backstage.
1 and a bit matches.
That's a lot of time without matches, especially when you look at, once again, we want to always make this comparison, but like AEW, they would have had 3 matches in this time.
Yeah. I think with, you know, the WWE, this is obviously all set up coming into Survivor Series this weekend. So there is going to be, the emphasis is like, I think with them, it's to keep their superstars fresh for the pay-per-view. So as little ring time as possible to keep them ready to go at the pay-per-view, to avoid injury as best possible, and just to build that story coming into that. So
yeah, it's also ball bags for everyone that paid tickets, eh?
Yeah, exactly. But I see where they're going with it. I understand what they're doing. It makes sense to me. Is it good? No, it's a bit shit, let's be honest. It does make for a bit of a boring show. But at the same time, it makes a great show for us because we got more to talk about.
That's true. So then when you get back in the ring and the New Day are rolling there, acting all stupid.
So Big E's like split-legged, hanging from the middle of the road, bouncing his junk as he does every time. It was
Nothing
beautiful.
beats Street Profits going to town, though, which we didn't get to talk about either. Do you catch that?
I did not catch that.
Okay, so
you're gonna have to film me.
There was a last week. The Street Profits got involved in a biff. I think it was. Oh, that's right. So, yes, it was Seth Rollins versus Walter. That was the match because they were at UK. Imperium came in and started repping shop, and then Street Profits came running in and started kicking the ass of everyone. Imperium flee, and at the end, everyone's kind of like getting ready. Montez grabs the ropes with his 2 hands in front in like Ultimate Warrior style, but goes nuts. But unlike Warrior, who's very, you know, visual in the face, and you see him, he locks everything but his arms.
Wow.
His whole body is dead stiff, and he's just going for what felt like 3 minutes.
I'm gonna have to.
It was awesome. It's like this. It's like this glitch in the Matrix. It was if 2K20 came to life in front of us and the ropes just wigged out. It was awesome.
That sounds amazing.
And like, there's some really cool gifts about it because he did it for so long and so consistently. There's like endless gifts you can make. It's beautiful.
Frick yes, I'm gonna find these. That sounds amazing.
Speaking of bouncing on rope, sorry, I just wanted to add that in.
Yeah. So yeah, we do hear the Revival do enter, and I overheard Corey Graves talking about how Big E was aggressively throwing pancakes right in Graves' face, and Cole's like, "Look, I have a theory about that, Graves. You know, on your podcast last week, you did say that Big E's ready to be a singles competitor, and it kind of sounded like you're trying to like split the New Day up. Like maybe he's a bit pissed at ya." And he's like, "I didn't do that. I was giving him a compliment by saying he's ready for singles competition. Like, how dare he?" And it was just stupid but funny.
Put it out there after the bell. Really good show. Just check it out.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
definitely went up.
But you once again, I'm a mark. I'll admit it, and I really dig the show. Because
There's nothing wrong with that.
It gives. There's some really cool shoot stuff in there from Corey, which I like. And then the interviews have that shoot-ish feel. Like I'm sure there may be some ulterior motive in some of it, but for at least part of it, it does feel very off the cuff. Like he has Finn this week for an interview. Now there is a small moment where Finn gets all to the script, I guess, about his turn, but then the rest just is like this organic conversation. Unlike Bailey, who tried to stay heel the whole conversation, it really broke it. It didn't really fit the mold of the show.
Yeah.
It was very, very cool, actually. And on top of that, like, credit to Corey, he's talked about AEW, he's talked about the Bullet Club, like he's dropping all these no words for WWE. It was awesome, actually.
Yeah.
And
it's awesome that they've got that freedom to do that.
Yeah, and once again, it's like his whole idea is like, no one's listening, so I can do it until I get fired, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely love it. Or maybe that's what they want from him.
But they may want that belief that it's a shoot show, and then it might not be.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, the match does get underway. I did see Dawson, Scott Dawson. Yeah,
Dawson.
The Dawson. He was taped up really bad down one side, and he did do like a drop on Big E, who moved. And, like, he grabbed his leg and screamed, like, "Oh, my God," at the top of his lungs. And I was like, "Oof, you are hurt, my friend." Like, I felt real bad. I never feel bad for the Revival, and I felt bad for them. Oh, except for that one time with the Usos and that dumb back-shaving bit. Anyway, let's not talk about that. But no, other than that...
I completely forgot about that. I didn't have my brain. My brain hurts.
Absolute sick match. These guys always put on a really good
Yeah, it was a banger. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. There was this awesome, there was an awesome tornado DDT from Wilder, and Big E kicked out of it, and Wilder starts chucking a tantrum. And Corey Graves is like, "I don't understand how he thought that would work. Big E's neck is as big as his thigh." And I was like, that's true. But yeah, there is like a bit where Kofi like goes and does a suicide dive on Dawson and Wilder, and Big E throws him over, and Dawson and Wilder catch him, and they throw him at the corner post, and it was vicious. Kofi hit hard, but then he got up like 2 seconds later, so he was just a little knocked dizzy to help a break up on a pin, which Big E was laying on the floor with his shoulders down for ages. But then, out of nowhere, Adam Cole and Robert Strong just start attacking. They've just come out of the crowd.
Sorry, you mean Adam Cole, baby. You have to say it.
Adam Cole, baby.
And Roderick Strong, yeah.
Roderick Strong, yeah.
You got Robert, Roderick, sorry, yeah.
Roderick,
I think your phone auto-dictionaried Robert.
I think it did. But yeah, they start attacking. So then, like, everybody's attacking everybody, and then more of the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, then Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish come in as well.
And this beatdown from NXT went on for ages before the SmackDown locker room came out. And finally they did come out, and they sort of like fought and pushed like NXT back into the crowd as they like disappeared. And we cut to an ad break, and when we come back, Corey Graves and that are talking about like they show a little recap of what just happened before the break. And they're like, two people there, heavy machinery, and they use that in the segue to...
I'm just going to remove my headphones because I feel that I know what's coming. I'm just going to lift these off before you blow out my ear holes.
So yeah, they're like, heavy machinery, like they're in a match right now, and there's two random people standing in the ring opposite heavy machinery, and get fucked.
Glad I was ready for that.
Nope. Big old bag of nope. No. We just had a bunch of people in the fucking ring. You could have faced any of them, but no, you have to put them against jobbers. Jobby McJobberson. Like,
this job thing seems to be like
a backstage. The B team are here. Why not have them face the B team again? Like,
wait, you said it was the Viking Raiders?
No, Heavy Machinery.
Oh, good. My brain went to Viking Raiders. I'm like, fuck, they're on Raw. What are they doing on SmackDown? Okay, I had a brain fart.
Heavy Machinery.
Yeah.
The B team were just here. They didn't get beat up that bad. They can have another match. Like, I'm sick of this jobber shit.
Well, that guy Gulak could have been like, look, we're going to prove these guys are learning something. They're going to take on Heavy Machinery in a little bit.
Exactly. Like, why? This does not make Heavy Machinery look strong going into Survivor Series. It makes them look lackluster. Because you know they're just going to destroy these people. Like, there's no competition there. These guys aren't going to get a hit in at all. They're literally there to just get laid out. Like, they're not going to get a hit in. They're too small. They're like a quarter of the size of like Otis. Like,
and I understand if you happen to be a fan of local indie wrestling in the area, and you're like, oh
go
shit,
to a local indie show.
Yeah, no, but it's almost like if we were there, right? And like for this show, and they bring out Lockie Hendricks and Richie Taylor, we'd be like, holy fuck, it's Lockie Hendricks. Like, we would get a small pop, but the average WWE audience does not know who these people are, let alone the televised audience. They ain't gonna know this shit.
Exactly. So it's really freaking frustrating considering they literally just had half the locker room in the ring 2 moments ago. Like, you could have segued into a match that way. But no. Pisses me off. I literally just wrote in capital letters, get fucked.
Then you yelled it, so I took my headphones off. It was good timing.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect timing because I'm mad about it.
See, it's funny. Like, you are where I was at a couple months ago. I just blank it out now. I'm like, I'm going to get a drink or something, and I just get up and leave the room. Because it's like, well, it's just, fuck. It's not going to stop.
I just fast forwarded it. I was just like, you've got to be...
Well, because I was watching it live, so I was like, I'm gonna go take a shit or something. Just anything that isn't being here. Yeah,
I wish I could, but I had a kitten in my lap, so I couldn't move. Yeah. I don't want to wake up the kitten.
Yeah, no, kitten's very important.
Yeah, so that's why I typed get fucked and I didn't yell it. Because he was sleeping very peacefully.
Next up, we got a recap of last week's attack with Shayna attacking Bayley on SmackDown, and then Bayley attacking Shayna and Becky on Raw, and then they also show Becky going to NXT and jumping Shayna. Sorry, Bayley going there to take on Shayna. Just fucking busting all over the place.
Yeah. Look, a few of the shots they showed of Bayley attacking, like, she hit hard, man. Like, Bayley, I'll give her credit. She's getting more and more vicious. Like, she really is starting to hit a lot harder, which is making me, it's convincing me a little bit more, but her persona and stuff like that.
Nah, she's just got permanent stank face. Like,
yeah, she really
like she's
does. She looks sad, not mad.
She looks so sad. Looks like she's about to cry at any minute. I'm like, she's like, all right, here's Bayley.
Like, when Bayley's a hugger, she's real happy. She's got this beautiful smile on her face, like it fits. But now that she's like Mad Bayley, she doesn't look like Mad Bayley. She looks like she's forcing herself to come out in the midst of a depression episode. Like, she doesn't really want to be there, but she's trying to make it look like she
looks like if something brushed her slightly incorrectly, she'd fucking break down.
Yeah,
and like,
exactly.
That's not mad.
Oh no, I tripped a little bit. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly how it looks. It's exactly how it looks. It's not good. But this does bring them into, like, Kayla's backstage with Bayley and Sasha Banks, and she's like, you're really showing that you're a force to be reckoned with, and, like, it seems really personal. Why? And Bayley's like, you're right, Kayla, I am a force to be reckoned with. And she goes, it is personal. Everything now is personal because it's about me. It's not about you. It's not about Shayna or Becky. It's not about the fans. It's about me. And it's about time. And she's like, Shayna and Becky won't see me as an afterthought anymore. And then she's like, I get joy out of beating people, so it's going to make my day to ruin Nikki's dreams. And then as soon as Bayley stopped speaking, I was like, don't do it. don't do it, just shut your fucking mouth, Sasha. And Sasha Banks starts speaking.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, shut up. I don't want to hear you. You're not part of this right now. But she's like, Nikki has been beaten twice by Bayley, and I beat her last week, and she doesn't deserve a spot on my team. So, if she wants it, she's going to have to beat Bayley, and that's not going to happen because I believe in Bayley, and I'm going to leave Bayley to do this match on her own because Bayley. And I'm just like, shut up. Just shut up. So Bayley's like, I got this, babe. And they have a little kissy on the cheeky and then they disappear. And then, it brings us into Nikki Cross's intro into the ring. And then we cut to an ad break, which seems to be the theme of the fucking show. Somebody does an entrance, ad break, come back. Their entrance is still going. Next entrance or video.
Well, at least someone's getting in the ring.
It was a little bit annoying this week. It did get a bit sort of like convoluted and just a big old mess. And I kind of I did zone out quite a bit. I'm not going to lie. Mainly during the matches, because obviously we focus wholly on the young and the restless side of things. So very, I focus on the backstage segments over what's going on.
Yeah, but the
matches, I do enjoy them.
Like there is storytelling in the ring, but it's comparatively to like AEW, it's just not here as much.
It's just not
a lot.
AEW are definitely story in the ring. So they cut to an ad break, and when they come back, they announce next year's WrestleMania.
So this has been announced for a while. They've been really kind of promoting it recently. It's in Tampa, Florida. It is pirate themed, and fuck, I want to go. I want to go so bad.
Yeah, right.
It's just so expensive.
Yeah.
I had a look because on the website they're like, hey, book travel things. I'm like, fuck.
I don't know, spare $7,000.
Yeah, and it's like because it's Florida as well, which is even more expensive because it's fucking Tampa Bay. Like if it was anywhere else, if it was like I don't know Michigan, be like
if it's Tampa, John Cena's gonna be there because he lives there.
Yeah, actually that's one advantage. A lot of dudes live in Florida.
Yeah, a lot of wrestlers live in Tampa itself. Crazy. Anyway, brings us into the match finally. Straight away, like right at the start of the match, like Nikki throws Bayley out of the ring, and there's a little bit of dozen outside of the ring, and then all of a sudden Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, it wasn't even like so. It wasn't even
like a minute into the match.
Credit to Bayley because it was like, all right, ding, and she's already running.
Yeah, and as soon as Baszler comes out, Bayley just goes sprinting, and she gets out into the crowd, and then we see our girl Rhea Ripley, Tegan Knox,
Mia Yim,
Dakota Kai,
and Mia
Yim.
Mia Yim, just after a fucking gnarly as shit ladder match, like the day before, like a couple of days before with Io Shirai, where she blew out her face and fucking torso.
And
Jesus.
That was when Bayley attacked, obviously, because Shayna Baszler was there, like, congratulating Mia Yim or something, and that's when Bayley attacked. I'm pretty sure that's when that went down. Or maybe it was just before.
So essentially what happened is Bayley gets over the barrier, turns around, sees them, they're all like, oh hey. She's like, oh fuck. And Rhea Ripley
it was May.
Yeah, but then Rey picks her up and just lobs her over the barrier.
Yeah. I mean, look around. Do you blame her? She's a huge bitch.
It's like side story here. This is a situation of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Because like Dakota Kai didn't make the cut for Rey's NXT War Games team, so I guess maybe they were just near each other. Like, look, we need someone to jump them right now. You're nearby, come help. So there's not that connection like the SmackDown team or the NXT team. Yeah. Because War Games this weekend.
Yeah. But they obviously get in the ring. They start doozing with Nikki and Bayley, and then Sasha comes out and she like belts Shayna, and then like the SmackDown girls come out and there's this big old brawl going on, and then like NXT end up in the crowd and Sasha grabs a microphone, and I was like, oh fuck, here we go. But I'll give her credit, this was good. She's like, you want the spotlight? I'm gonna give you a spotlight. How about the four of you face the four of us, including Nikki Cross in that four, right here, right now? Because obviously the SmackDown team at the moment is Sasha Banks, Dana Brooke, and Carmella.
Oh yeah. Your girl Dana Brooke came out.
Yeah, Dana Brooke come out, flex appeal, love it. But so they end up, they're like, alright. So it ends up being like NXT versus SmackDown 4-on-4. So I guess like a preview match of what we're going to get on Sunday. This made me assume that Nikki Cross is going to be in the team. Bayley did say like, maybe if I win this match, I'll join your team. But she's already in a match at Thing, so I don't think she's going to be doing Survivor Series twice. I don't think she's that good. She's not a Becky Lynch.
Yeah, no double duty from Bayley.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, so it's Mella, Brooke, Sasha, and Nikki Cross versus Nox, Ripley, Yim, and Kai. So yeah,
banger,
great match,
fucking banger match,
great match. Yeah, absolutely. This one had me real engaged.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful. Props to Mella for taking a proper beat down by everybody. Like Mella was just she was beat the shit out of. Absolutely, like Rhea Ripley just annihilated her.
Ripley's so rad.
Oh, I love Rhea Ripley so much. One thing I absolutely loved is when Rhea Ripley does get tagged in against Sasha Banks, Sasha takes a few steps back like, oh, she's big, like, I gotta take it easy here. And Rhea's like in her face and Sasha's like, oh yeah, and a vicious slap to her face. And then like Ripley just drops Sasha and she's like, that's how we do it NXT, baby! And it's like, just fucking talk Adelaide to me.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, you're going! And then fucking socks her.
Oh, it was absolutely beautiful. I was just like, please, just please talk more to me in your Adelaide accent. I love it. I love it. She looked hot as shit tonight too. Like, the like slicked back wet hair look, like, damn, bitch.
Yeah, I'll admit, more and more it's doing it for me. I'll just say it more and more I say it.
Yeah, I would absolutely, you know, I talk a lot about Rand Daddy, but Ray Mummy, I would do things to Rhea Ripley. I'd let her do things to me.
I should kick I'm way too beta for that shit. I should kick the shit out of me.
There was this awesome spot with Rhea and Sasha where Sasha gets this awesome, like, she does this awesome thing to get into the bank statement. Bray does this awesome counter to it, and it's absolutely vicious. And then, like, Ray goes and cheap shots the SmackDown team, and then Sasha cheap shots the NXT team, and then they all end up the ring going brawl for brawl, and then everybody ends up out of the ring, and then they do their little spot for spot bit, and it was just fucking mad. But it did end with Nikki Cross getting a vicious neck breaker on Dakota Kai. Getting the win, but before she could even celebrate, they do get attacked again, and then the rest of the SmackDown locker room come out. So you get Mandy, Sonya, all that sort of stuff come barreling down, and they were there earlier when NXT first attacked as well, so they disappeared and came back. But that was awesome, just seeing sort of, you know, this whole thing with, like, I think NXT being the only ones to do the invasions this year is just
smart move, man.
It is absolutely awesome because it really is making them look super, super strong. It's putting them on that card with SmackDown and Raw. It is making it all even, you know. Like we said, nobody's coming up from NXT anymore. They are all on the same level. So this is huge because it shows how strong of a team NXT actually is. Yeah, and it's a situation of NXT are going to come out with most of the wins at Survivor Series.
Having them come out and wrestle is where it's awesome here. You know what I mean? Like, that's where
because NXT focus more on that as well.
They do. See, NXT, they focus more on that wrestling side of things. So even though they are good talkers and they do deliver cool promos, they don't do it the same as you know, the quote unquote main roster. So having them here just to kick ass, it's a win, beautiful. Man.
Perfect. So that does bring us into backstage. Daniel Bryan.
Does this mean that Nikki gets a spot?
Well, it was never actually announced. I assume so. I assume so. If Nikki got the win over NXT, I'd imagine that would put her in.
Well, because the other match was DQ'd. Like, so either that match was lost and those stipulation no longer exists.
I have a feeling Sasha's going to be like, well, you got the win on NXT, so welcome to the team. You know, we'll see. But Daniel Bryan's walking backstage, and that like serves as like a segue into an ad break. And they announce all the Survivor Series matches, and then they come back, and it is Miz TV. So I did that as soon as I was watching. I was like, Miz TV, like cheese TV. I don't know why.
I didn't click until you pointed it out. Then I was like, oh, I can make that happen.
Yeah, I made it work. That's the thing. Yeah, okay. But Miz comes out and he's like, you know, he recaps the whole, like, you know, as we all know, Bray Wyatt won the title from Seth Rollins in Saudi Arabia, and you know, then this week he attacked last week he attacked Daniel Bryan, and we're gonna find out why. And he shows the video of what happened again, and Daniel Bryan comes out and is like, so why do you think he's attacking you? And Daniel Bryan's silent. And he goes, oh, the silent treatment again. I get this. He's like, well, I get it. We don't like each other. We don't see eye to eye. But you came on my show, and this is a fair and simple question. Like, why? Why did he choose you? And Daniel Bryan's just silent again. And he's like, I know why he chose you. Do you want to know why he chose you? Because you're unstable. You're mentally unstable. You're physically unstable. You're not the superstar you were 10 years ago. You don't know who you are or what you want. You don't know if you want the yes movement or if you're this hippie guy who's all about recycling and saving the earth. And like Miz just dug into him. And this I loved because I don't know if you know the whole like backstory of Miz and Daniel Bryan getting into a fight.
Yes, on Talking Smack.
That's it, Talking Smack. And then, Daniel Bryan walked out and Miz is, like, yelling at him very passionately. So this was a really cool nod to that whole thing. Like, I thought that was really friggin' awesome. That really engaged me in it. Because I do tend to sort of zone out of Miz TV. Daniel Bryan finally stands up while the Miz is yelling at him. And he's like, Bryan's like, I was quiet because Miz TV sucks. And it has always sucked. And everybody's like, boo! And he's like, and it has always sucked. And like Miz goes to say something and he's like, shut your mouth. And that was beautiful. Like, just shut him straight up. And he's like, you don't understand, and neither do the fans, like what, I'm passionate, and passion is mental instability. You don't understand what it's like to be unstable because you're so passionate about what you do. And he's like, but Bray Wyatt understands that though. He understands what it's like to be in this position, to be confused and afraid and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden the Firefly Funhouse music plays. And then Bray Wyatt's like, hi, Daniel! All chirpy. And he's just like, he's like, it's really rude to speak about someone when they're not present. That's not nice. And he's like, I know you're confused and I know it's scary, and he knows that. And maybe that's why he did it, to scare you. Or maybe it's because, he remembers what you did. Do you remember what you did, Daniel Bryan? Because he never forgets.
Never forgets.
And it gets all weird and creepy and fun. And I'm just like, oh. And he's like, oh, hey, toy box. And starts pulling shit out of a toy box. And there's like a saw in there. And he's like, oh, how'd that get in there? And he's pulling out all this shit.
It's a doll that's been all munched up.
All this shit.
Clown horn.
And he pulls it all out. And like, he's like, oh, like, we want to play, Daniel. Do you want to play?
So eventually pulls out his favorite, quote unquote, his favorite toy.
Oh, yeah, his belt. His favorite toy is his belt. Yeah, and he's like, we want to play. Do you want to play? He's like, all you have to do is say that one little word. And the crowd starts chanting yes. Because it is mentioned earlier that, no longer the leader of the yes movement and all that sort of stuff. Like, and he starts like, and Daniel Bryan's like, no. And then like, it's got, what's her name? Abby the Witch. And she's like, yes. And he goes, no. And then Mercy goes, yes. And he goes, no. And then Huskus goes, yes. And he goes, no. And then Rambling Rabbit goes, yes. And he goes, no. And he's like, no. He's like, no, I don't want to come play with you in your little fun house because I'm not a puppet and I don't want to be around your puppets. But I want to fight. And if you want to fight, let's fight. But if we're going to do it, we're going to do it properly and we're going to do it for that belt. And then Bray Wyatt starts laughing. And he starts going, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. And he goes on for ages with it too, and the crowd's chanting with him. He starts getting manic and screaming and yes and yes and yes. Oh, it was absolutely freaking awesome. And then all of a sudden he goes away, and Brian's like, is that it? Are we done? Are we done? Can I go? And the Miz is like, well, there you have it, guys. Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Survivor Series for the Universal Championship.
Yes, yes, yes!
And that's the end of the night.
I want that so bad. I want that match so bad.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So bad.
So excited.
Please give it to me.
It was really freaking cool. Like, sure there was like maybe 3 matches total in the end there in a 2-hour show, but it was really freaking cool. Really cool. That set up at the end with the Firefly Funhouse and Daniel Bryan I am so hyped to see it. Absolutely hyped to see it. I'm hoping that this is like the whole Bray Wyatt thing. We all know Daniel Bryan's not going to win. Like, let's be honest. Like, the Fiend is just way too powerful over Daniel Bryan. But I hope this is really going to, like, progress Daniel Bryan's story instead of, like, facing the Fiend and facing these fears and, you know, his past and what he's done and all that sort of stuff. I really hope that's going to knock him into this new direction, that we can get the old Daniel Bryan in the sense of how someone who is sure of himself and confident in his abilities and an amazing wrestler. Like, I want to see that Daniel Bryan again. Like what we saw at the shows here. Like that was a confident, you know, Daniel Bryan who knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's just a bit all over the place. And I really hope that this is going to be that step forward for him.
I don't think this is the only match we'll see
No.
from it. I think we'll see a couple of them.
I'd like that.
Well, especially because there is such... Well, I would like to think that there is such good history here between them. I think it would be silly to not take advantage of said history and tell some longer stories with it, really. That's where I stand.
Oh, yeah, long-term storytelling. You could definitely go further with this, for sure.
But whether they do that or not, it's a whole different thing.
Whole different story, yeah.
Sadly. But yes, that does bring us to the end of this episode of Smackdown. Jem, how does it sit? Where does it sit for you?
Look, it was a bit up and down. Obviously, I always get real bitter about the jobber matches. I don't know. I did want to see a bit more wrestling. Obviously, you want to showcase the skills of your superstars coming into such a big pay-per-view.
This is the SmackDown Go Home show.
Exactly it. It really is. So, look, I guess I'd have to call it down the line and give it a single cut.
Yeah, look, I know we always seem to agree on our scores, but I'm down the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. Something between a bar and a Kurt. Overall, but the Daniel Bryan promo at the end was brilliant. Like that whole section was fantastic. That match coming into Survivor Series has me really excited. Ideally,
the match was amazing.
Ideally they tell some stuff about Daniel Bryan and Bray moving forward. They don't have a lot of time. Like they can only touch upon it at the pay-per-view, and then I think they could tell some more.
But in saying that, like you look at, you know, Bray Wyatt's social media and like, you know, tweeting at Daniel Bryan, like we remember and things like that. And I think he had like a little picture of like something from back in the day, like with the Wyatt family or whatever. But like, or I might have seen it in the comments, I don't know. But, you know, little nods like that, I think that's great storytelling as well. Like, you know, on social media, those little things really build to that story too, because we are in such an age where it's so engaging that way. We do engage with wrestling through social media. So I think, like, there's enough storytelling that can be done through social media.
Yeah, look, more would be better. Because once again, it's good history, it's good story here. The women's match, having the NXT women come in was absolutely amazing. They were really cool. Everything else was just like apathetic towards the rest, pretty much. And
Chicken Ripley apart.
Yeah, like I don't know whether you know, like an app, like nothing was bad, or except for the stuff at the start of the show, but like nothing was horrid. It was just. I'm not sure whether a bad show is worse, quote unquote, than a bland show.
No, I think, you know, I suppose with bad shows, like, we can rip it apart. With bland shows, there's really not that much.
Yeah, like, I feel almost nothing coming out of this.
Yeah, so do I. I definitely, like I said, like, I was more invested in the kitten than I was the rest of the show. He's just so cute.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, that is the end of our SmackDown in review. Hopefully you can join us this coming Thursday for our Raw in review, where we'll be chatting about the Go Home show for Raw ahead of Survivor Series. We will also lay down our predictions for NXT TakeOver as well as Survivor Series, which will be awesome. Cool.
Oh, so are they doing both?
Yeah, War Games is Sunday, Survivor Series is Monday.
Oof, poor NXT.
Yeah, these guys are going to have to go gangbusters and then can go the next day and go hard again. But that's what these guys are good for. But this wrestling conversation, this one, SmackDown, every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to Facebook, facebook.com/group/thepopculturist, Twitter, Discord, links are in the down below area. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, Head over to patreon.com/thepopculture. Support us at any dollar value. Get yourself another sneaky link. We can watch us record this show live. If you want to support us in more once-off fashion, head over to popculture.com/shop. We buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. The store is pretty much on sale from now until the end of the year. So just go in there, get yourself some nice stuff for a slightly reduced amount, which is awesome, which is cool. Black Friday, if you want to support that. Thanksgiving, there's sales there. Then the Cyber Monday is another good sale as well. Just reasons to buy shit is where I'm at. We also on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopcultures, which I will find time to stream this weekend. Probably Friday night, because Thursday night I am recording another episode of Some Assembly Required. So it's kind of taken that time, but I do need to use 2K20 to predict Survivor Series. I probably won't do NXT because the game does not support war games. It doesn't support the actual match type, so that makes it a little bit redundant to do. Yeah. But we will do Survivor Series. Hopefully, it lets me do 15-man tag teams, because there's a lot of bodies, and we hope that can come together. But because I hope the game just breaks.
Yeah, it just glitches out.
Yeah, that's what I'm wanting.
Actually happens at Survivor Series.
And, originally we're really bummed about 2K20 being a dumpster fire, and it's like, well, it's got to make the prediction streams amazing, and I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
It'll be a good time.
It'll be great. But anyways, until we talk about Raw, I'm Ryan Betson.
And Ray can rip me. I'm Jem.
See you then.
Bye.
The Young and the Restless, the Pop Culturist WWE podcast, is fan support over at Patreon at patreon.com/thepopculturist. And we'd like to thank our Patreon producers and our Patreon founders for their kindness, their support, and their generosity. Our Patreon founders: Alpha Ferret, Craig O'Flaherty, David Chataway, Jesse Stevenson, and Jacob Garner. And our Patreon producers: AJ Abatomi, Damian Holdies, Kyle Dunn, Lee Wintershoven, Nathan Massetti, Paul James, Pure Mongrel, and Sean Levitt.